Hey guys, Pat here. Welcome to Box Office Addict, my weekly live stream where we break down the weekend box office, and we also talk about movies in the chat, and just discuss what's going on right now. It's kind of a free-for-all chat, conversation-based show, but we kind of use the format of the box office. I'm going to introduce some new things to the show this week, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Hey, Fraser Danger, good to see you, my friend. Pat, I did a review of your channel. Can I post it on mine? What do you mean, can you post it on yours? You don't have to ask me permission to upload videos on your channel. I respect that you're asking me, though. I think that's very nice, but you don't have to ask me. Something to be said when Jumanji performed better than Last Jedi this far from the holiday season. Oh, hi, Pat. So I'm going to add a couple new things to the format this week. We've already have the movie of the week usually, even though I didn't pick a film of the week because it's Super Bowl weekend. And the Super Bowl is actually on right now, and I'm not watching it because I'm doing the show for you guys. Granted, I don't want to sit and watch Tom Brady win another Super Bowl. So maybe this is a nice distraction for a little while. Hopefully I can catch that halftime show with Justin Timberlake and a hologram Prince. Can't wait for hologram Prince. Today's the big day. I am referring to the Box Office Addict as I am not too into sports at the Super Bowl. I had to tell my friend today from Australia who Tom Brady was. They didn't know, which I'm not making fun of them. They just told me, like, who's Tom Brady? And I was like, do you know who Michael Jordan is? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, he's the Michael Jordan of football. And they're like, oh. Yeah, I have the Super Bowl on in the background. I'm like looking at it, but yeah, I'm not watching it at the same time. So this won't be a long, epic episode of this show. Hey, when I say I dislike Tom Brady, it's just out of bitterness of being a fan of another team. It's not like me. Tom Brady's the best quarterback that's ever lived. That's just a fact. But if you're a fan of another team, you don't like Tom Brady. It's like being a fan of another team in the 90s when the Bulls were dominating. You just can't. God, the Patriots have been dominating for like, what, almost 20 years now? It's almost been 20 years. They won their Super Bowl in like 2001. They've been dominating for so long. Perhaps you should have a separate Q&A live stream podcast called The Beef Stew Crew. I actually have already thought of that, calling a podcast The Beef Stew. Like Pat with the Beef Stew. So I actually thought, lighting up a Super Bowl. Okay, yeah. I didn't get the joke at first. Very good, Blood Money. Very good. So I'm going to add a couple new segments. One is I'm going to do the comment of the week, where I go through my comment section and I find you guys what I think is the funniest comment, and we could talk about it. Yes, you can post your review of my channel. You don't have to ask me permission. Go ahead. Don't ask me. Just do it. Can I post my review of your channel? Oh, you mean in the chat? Do you want to post it, or do you just? I don't quite get what you mean. Pat, every time you say this episode won't be long, it ends up being 2.5. Damn it, Bathory. You're so right. You're so damn right. It would be cool if Philadelphia won, though. I was kind of wanting for a Philadelphia. I kind of wanted a Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh Super Bowl. But this is a return, because if you remember, McNabb and T.O. lost to Tom Brady years ago. So this is kind of a revenge, I guess, if it works out. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully the defense can do something. I've never really been into sports for some reason. Well, that's fine, man. A lot of people aren't into movies. Same thing. A lot of people aren't into the box office. It is what it is. Goodbye, Mr. Pete. 8680 reviews, or 8,680 reviews. Thank you for being on here. I appreciate it. All right. Also, I guess he's reviewing my channel, so if you guys want to go check his reviews and see what his review of my channel is, that'd be interesting. I'm filming a Best Films of 2017 video tomorrow. Can I reveal my favorite? What would be yours, Pat? My favorite film of 2017, Good Time, by the Safdie brothers, is my favorite film of 2017. So going back to it, I'm going to show us the comment of the week. And the comment of the week it's going to be a funny comment I find for you guys, and I'll read it out, and we can just have some fun with that. It's not to mock the person, just stuff I find funny. I got a really funny comment, especially like today. And then I'm also going to try to look at some articles more like I did last week with the Black Panther article. I'm going to try to do the box office, a couple comments, And sure, Sean, go ahead. You can all post your reviews of my channel. Please all do. Just all go review the channel, why don't you? Yes, put it on my channel too, yes. Review my channel and put it on my channel. That's what I want. Alright guys, but thank you for watching this week. If you are watching, you're probably a box office addict yourself. And I'm not here to help you with your addictions, I'm here to encourage them. So, let's get into the box office. Super Bowl weekend 2018. This is actually a pretty crappy Super Bowl weekend at the box office. This is not one of the more impressive ones, but it is what it is. There was no really major new release that was going to make an impact. And yeah, people are watching the football game, and you know, it's that time of the year where the box office really starts to die down and take a dip for a little while until we bounce back. And we've got to talk about Maze Runner and the big drop it had, and we got to talk about The Greatest Showman and how it's having one of the best runs I've ever seen at the box office. All right, so where do we start? Let's skip some of these bottom ones that aren't worth addressing. Let's see where Wonder's at worldwide. We've been covering this film a while by Steven Chbosky. It did go up. Last week it was at $265 million. Now it's at $277 million worldwide. That's on a $20 million budget. That's definitely a big money maker. Let's see if Pitch Perfect 3 has broken out. No, it's pretty much feels like it's wrapping up its run. It's crazy that this last Pitch Perfect film did better domestically than this one's doing worldwide. Ferdinand, the Oscar-nominated animated film, is at $268 million worldwide. Now, with that big budget, they're probably not making a big profit right now, but I don't know if that's been released in every market yet. Call Me By Your Name, 22% drop, $12.9 million, $9 million foreign, $22 million worldwide on a $3.5 million budget. I read an article recently in Forbes, I believe, where they talked about how this film didn't go wide soon enough, and they kind of didn't capitalize on the box office it could have. And if you guys remember over the few weeks, I was talking about that too, because it took so long for them to release this wide. It was like 4 theaters, 9, 30, 115 theaters. It wasn't until just recently they put it in over 500. And I think by that point it was too late. I think they didn't play this right, and there was a Forbes article discussing this. But this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I'd say it's in my top 5, and I would recommend going to see it. Okay, Molly's Game from Aaron Sorkin is at $27 million domestic. I'm not quite sure what the budget of that movie is. I'm assuming somewhere around $20 million, which would make sense. Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig, one of the front runners for Best Picture out of the 3 Billboards Shape of Water in this movie. $43 million, A24's highest grossing film domestically. Insidious, The Last Key from Lee Winnell, $155 million worldwide, $65 million domestic gross on a $10 million budget. This is a Blumhouse production, and they've been killing it lately. If you look at some of these movies they're producing, Get Out and Split, the Ouija movie, Origin of Evil. Some of these haven't grossed as much, but the profits are crazy on all these films. And in particular, last year with Get Out and Split, and then getting the Best Picture nomination with Get Out was really a big moment for Jason Blum and his studio. All right, Coco. Yes, from Disney. It reached it. There we go. $700 million worldwide. All right, yeah. We've been following this movie for a while now, haven't we? The $200 million to $220 million budgeted film, not including marketing. Had a disappointing domestic run, in my opinion. $50 million opening, $200 million domestic. Adjusted for ticket price inflation, Tangled did much better than this domestically. So this isn't one of the biggest Pixar films when it comes to domestic box office. But at the international box office worldwide, this is actually one of their biggest films. This isn't Inside Out, and of course it didn't make the money of Finding Dory, which made $1 billion, but you can't knock $700 million worldwide and like a $500 million foreign total. So with that budget, there's no doubt they've made a profit. This is going to win the Oscar for Best Animated Film and most likely Best Original Song. So this is a big deal. I hardly remember Coco. I did see it, but I didn't love it as much as everyone else did. But great box office there. I was really worried that film was gonna have a disappointing worldwide total. A lot of people were saying in its early weeks, oh, it's going to reach $700 million. I was like, nah, I think it might tap out at like $550. But to my pleasant surprise, it did reach that milestone. So I would say Coco is officially a success. The Commuter, 34 million domestic, 81 million worldwide. That had a $13 million opening weekend. Not sure what the budget is on that. That might make a tiny little profit. Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson, 28% drop. 2 million this weekend, 14 million domestic, 17 million worldwide. I believe this film costs like $30 million, so don't see them making much profit off of that one. All right, let's do some things in the chat. What do you guys have any questions? Oh, by the way, Bathory, you're awesome. I hope last week I didn't make you when I was joking that I didn't hurt your feelings or something. I want you to know that you're my favorite subscriber. If I have favoritism, it's towards you, Bathory. I just want you to know that. It's another Last Jedi excuse thing, really. Who wouldn't want to watch Mexico meet Spirited Away? Hey, good point. People can't possibly dislike that masterpiece. It's quite sad. Alright, yeah, if you guys have some questions, throw them in there. I'll come back and check them after I do some more movies. Alright, Star Wars, The Last Jedi from Ryan Johnson. The great Ryan Johnson. Oh, damn it, Harambe. Harambe. Knocked his food over. It was my freaking rabbit. I feed him, and then he pissed in his regular bowl. So I had to get him a paper bowl so I could feed him today. And then I put the paper bowl in his cage, and he fucking knocks it over and knocks all of his food out. So I have to fill his bowl up again. He's such an a-hole. He comes in here and just stares at me sometimes like a jerk. Anyway, this movie did $2 million this weekend, 47% drop, so its domestic total is wrapping up here soon. This will not reach $630 million like many people predicted. It will also not reach $650 million like Jurassic World. It will also not reach the worldwide total of, I know, Blood Money. You have to understand, you're no longer a subscriber. We're just friends. We've transcended. Bathory, though, I keep at a distance. So our relationship can stay perfect. The professionalism. Bathory will always be my moderator if she's willing to do it. If the channel has 100,000 subscribers, she will still be my moderator. Hey, Pat, have you ever heard about the Facebook event Sabotage Black Panther's Fan Score? Yes, I have. Will Black Panther prove China isn't racist? Is it just bad Last Jedi scripting that it hurts in China? I do not think Black Panther's going to do well in China, but I don't know if that'll necessarily be a reflection of China. I just don't know if they'll have interest in that movie. Did you check out Red Letter Media's Nerd Crew vid on supposed Han Solo? Of course I did. That's one of my favorite ones. They're watching a teaser that's not there. They went, oh my god, Boba Fett's in this! Boba Fett! It's amazing! It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, this will not reach the total of Age of Ultron and some others. That's the only sequel I can compare it to in recent memory. It's the only sequel to follow up a movie that was big like that. We're going to have to see with the Jurassic World sequel, too, how that performs, because that film did $1.6 billion. So, with the $220 million opening weekend and a $614 domestic total, it didn't have much of a multiplier, The Last Jedi, but having a $50 million budget, probably somewhere around there, maybe a little less, 230. 706 foreign total, though, is quite disappointing. Yeah, I think the Nerd Crew, that they're at a point where they're not even, like, acting anymore. I think they just become the characters. At first, I think it was satire, and they were really, they were trying to nail it. But when you watch the Nerd Crew now, it just starts to get, creepy. It stops being, it's not even satire anymore. It's just real. They're too good at it. They've gotten too good at it, and they're too into their characters now. They so perfectly just do it now every episode. I have a question. How did Force Awakens do in China? Was it pulled on its first week? No, Force Awakens made $124 million in China. It's Rogue One made $69 million, and this movie only made I think 20-something million, 30 million. But it didn't do that well. 120 million for Chinese release in Star Wars. It wasn't as good as they were hoping. I'm sure they expected to maybe make 300 million, if not more. Too Real, I think they are playing out insider information about these shows. Yeah, no, they just, you could tell they study it so well so they can get everything they say just right. I still wonder how Rich Mouth's mouth was foaming from just drinking Coke and Nerd Crew. They probably put like a Mentos. They probably did something that made it the soda combust and do that in his mouth. It wouldn't be that hard to do. Um, anyway, $220 million opening weekend, $1,320,000,000 worldwide. This is a majorly successful film. I mean, this is going to be big profits, but what is Han Solo going to do? What about Episode 9? This is a big dip from the box office of Force Awakens. It's over $700 million less. So it's very interesting. I'm not going to say it was a disappointment financially, but I think it performed just barely what it needed to be impressive. Legendary has to be worrying about Pacific Rim too. I would be. I wouldn't have made that damn movie. Yeah, it was so bad that China threatened permanently preventing Star Wars films from being released there. Yes, that's the thing. It's very funny. Alright. Darkest Hour from Joe Wright. Best Picture nominated film. This film did amazing at the box office. I think this film's budget somewhere around $30 million. $48 million domestic, $115 million worldwide. 114.8 to be exact. But still, this is one of the most successful films nominated for Best Picture. This has made more than like Shape of Water, Call Me By Your Name, Lady Bird. So I haven't seen this film, but hey, good for them. Good for Gary Oldman. I think this kind of solidifies his Oscar win too. All right, let's look at I, Tonya. See where that's at. 22.6 mil domestically. I think I, Tonya's getting wrapped up pretty soon. It might be able to get to 30 million, but Forever My Girl, 2.5 million. 12.8 million worldwide. $3.5 million budget. That might make profit, but just barely. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, a film that I've been trying to review for the last week, and every time I get in the recording with my friend to review it, we end up talking and not reviewing the movie. Do you think Gangs of New York is good? That is a tough question. I will say yes, but barely. I think it's barely a good movie. He looks and sounds nothing like Winston Churchill. Well, Frank Langella didn't look or sound anything like Nixon. So, you don't have to give a good performance. Anyway, this film, I just found out its budget was $12 million. That's not including what it was. Somebody probably bought it and then the distribution. This is my second favorite movie of the year. I've been really wanting to do a review of it. It sucks. I had this great live review with a friend that we didn't record it. We had this amazing conversation about this movie. So I won't spoil my review here, but I'm a big fan of this movie, and I think a lot of people misinterpret this film and aren't reviewing it properly. I know it sounds really pretentious, but you'll see when my review comes out what I'm talking about. Anyway, for a $12 million budget, $41 million domestic and $87 million worldwide. This is doing very well. This could make $100 million worldwide. And even $50 million domestically. It's actually picking up traction. They have it in 1,726 theaters right now. So I have to just say that this has most likely made a profit now. And if it can break that $100 million mark, win Best Picture, which I would love if it won Best Picture, and have good Blu-ray sales and all that. So, yes, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. One of the best comedies I've seen, dark comedies I've seen in the last decade. Great movie. Highly recommend it. I also love 3 Billboards. Opening scene is good, and the fight. Yeah, no, the opening scene is awesome. Plan 9 fan, that's great. That's amazing. Yeah, no, the opening fight scene is awesome, and yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is incredible in Gangs of New York. In fact, I would say he was better than Adrian Brody that year, but I know that's Adrian Brody I don't think deserved that Oscar for The Pianist. I know Jews aren't gonna like hearing that, but how much do you think they would spend marketing something like 3 Billboards? I've seen enough TV ads for it here in the UK. I'd probably say 20 million, if not more. They might. I mean, at least 15 million they would spend advertising it. Especially what you have to pay for the Oscars and stuff like that. Pat, I saw Paddington 2 this week, and you were right about how good it is. I know. It's the best movie of the year so far. Honestly, if Paddington 2 would come out last year in America, it would maybe be my second or third favorite film of the year. It would be like Good Time, 3 Billboards, and Paddington 2. Would be the 3 best movies. But yeah, Paddington 2 is one of the best children's family films to come out. Not in the last decade, in like the last 30 years. If not even more so. It might be one of the greatest family films ever made. I think it probably reaches that level of quality. It might be one of the most timeless, great family films ever made. Like, I'm not saying it's the best or a top 10, but it might be like, if you're doing the top 30 family films, I think Paddington 2 might be able to get in there. Even though the only Spike Jonze movie I have seen is Where the Wild Things Are, I have been wondering what it would have been like if it had been directed and written like the Hollywood Ghost in the Shell. I have been wondering what if he had directed? It would have been a lot better. The first Paddington is good. It's very good. It's great. I would say it's great, but the second Paddington's like almost a masterpiece. And I know that sounds really crazy to say, but it's as good as, like, the critics are not wrong about that movie. Do you like Silence and Casino? I do not like Silence. I think Silence is Scorsese's worst film in a lot of ways. I think it's his most dull and messy, and I'm a big fan of The Last Temptation of Christ, but man, Silence is pretty bad. There's some great scenes, the Liam Neeson parts, but oh my god, the ending of that movie's laughable. I love Casino. Casino feels like a 10-episode television series packed into a 3-hour movie. Sure, it is too similar to Goodfellas, but am I going to complain about too much of a good thing? No. And Casino has some of the best cinematography and editing of the 90s. Maybe ever. The movie's phenomenally made. But Casino, honestly, it feels like you're watching like a 12-part series. Like, it feels like it should be 12, 15 episodes or something, like a mini-series like that. But, of course I love Casino. People who don't like Casino are crazy. Like, when I first watched it, I was a little disappointed just because, yeah, it was Goodfellas again. But once you watch Casino more and more, it's one of those movies that gets better every time you watch it, and you find these new nuances. And now there's times where I think, is this better than Goodfellas? I don't think it's as well structured, but man, it's great. It's a great movie. Yeah, Sam Rockwell, man. Let's hope that happens. Casino is great, yeah. Silence is his worst. For me it was. I can't think of a film of his I dislike more than Silence. I think Silence is, like, just bad. I really have nothing good to say about it, except outside of the cinematography, maybe. I don't even like the acting of Silence very much, or, the second act's interesting when they're being tortured. But the first and third act, oh my god. Oh my god. I can't even go into it. It's so awful. I might have to review that movie sometime and talk about it, just how bad it is. I love The Pianist, but I'm not a Jew. I like Gangs of New York, but it didn't hit me emotionally. I think overall impact is a sign of good engagement. I think that's true too. That Gangs of New York's a very cold movie. It's very calculated, but I would say that if we're talking just sheer acting and performance, I would say Daniel Day-Lewis is running circles around Adrien Brody. And I think the proof is in the fact of everything Adrien Brody's done since The Pianist, and he's not really that great of an actor with a lot of range, while Daniel Day-Lewis is Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis would have a couple more Oscars if he would have got the he was fighting for the role Tom Hanks got in Philadelphia. He would have won the Oscar for that possibly. He wanted to play Vincent Vega really bad in Pulp Fiction. He really fought for that role. What would it have been like had Ono had directed and written Silence instead? Maybe better, honestly. Yeah, I don't think Gangs of New York's a very good movie, but I think Daniel Day-Lewis is amazing in it. Bill the Butcher is like the highlight of the whole damn thing. Yes, he is. The scene where he's wearing the flag on him and talking to Leo, and he talks about how he got the eye sent to him and all that's fucking amazing acting. You see the There Will Be Blood character in his performance in Gangs of New York. You see him finding Daniel Plainview in that performance. It's a very transformative role for him playing Bill the Butcher. It's one of the great performances of the decade is Bill the Butcher. That's the one brilliant thing about that movie is Scorsese and Daniel, because De Niro was going to play that role, was going to play Bill the Butcher. And they wanted to work together on that. That was a big project for them, and then he ended up working with Day-Lewis. And when you watch that movie, it's like, holy crap. There's not a scene where Daniel Day-Lewis isn't killing it. He's really the one factor of that movie that's consistently great, too, like every scene with him. I love how he does that thing with his lip in that movie, how he puts this, and he looks at them and stuff. There's a lot of Daniel Plainview in there. He won the Oscar for Daniel Plainview, but you can see a lot of it in Bill the Butcher. Did you see the Son of Crocodile D trailer? It's just awful. Yeah, I almost thought it was a joke. It's okay, man, that you mention Ano. I don't mind. I mentioned Kerry Fukunaga too much. I don't mind. That's why Brody won. Why did Brody win? Did I miss something? Ano is masterful is all. Yeah, he's really talented. I'd heard Son of Dundee is nothing more than a fake movie campaign to serve as a tourist commercial for Australia. It does look that way. I've never seen There Will Be Blood, but I like Daniel and Gangs of New York. And I'm probably gonna like There Will Be Blood. Yeah. There Will Be Blood's phenomenal. It's very good. Yeah, I don't think his, yeah, that's weird. I don't think his performance is at all better in The Pianist. I think that's a performance any actor could have played. I really do. Any actor that was in his age group and ability could have played the lead role in The Pianist. There's nothing stand out about that performance at all. It's just the writing of the character that makes it good, not actually. Bill the Butcher's honestly kind of a terribly written character, and Daniel Day-Lewis still overcomes that. And the movie, that's kind of a mess. Like, The Pianist is just basically handing someone an Oscar. It's like, hey, here's this part that's going to win an Oscar, and any actor could play it. I think for me, Daniel Day-Lewis gives a more original performance as Bill the Butcher. I think it's like one of his top, like, 3 or 4 performances, too. Thank God it's a joke, because it sounds retarded. It does sound retarded. It looks retarded. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's something kind of, like, so ridiculous about it. I kind of want to see it. Danny McBride playing the son of Crocodile. But there's part of me that's, like, curious about how stupid it is. Like, there's a fun factor about that, where it's like, this might just be one of the dumbest movies ever, and it'll be wonderful in that way. I heard that the Tourism Board of Australia is paying for the Dundee movie because they're getting Aussie actors like Hugh Jackman to work for tax write-offs. Oh, the Academy members really love World War II drama films. Why is that? Because they're effective, I guess. It's a safe bet. Bill the Butcher is kind of cool. Yeah, when he was on the set, Daniel Day-Lewis was listening to Eminem, which is really weird because he doesn't try to do things that aren't in the period details. But yeah, there's stories about how he's like listening to Eminem music in that set of the movie, and he's in there being a butcher, like he actually cut meat and everything, and he'd be on the set cutting up meat in between takes and listening to Eminem on like his iPod, so he could keep his energy up. He was always they said he was constantly trying to keep his energy up in that character. Because it's a lot of energy he's bringing to those scenes, like intense energy, like overwhelming energy. There's a petition to have a Son of Dundee turned into an actual feature film. That's hilarious. Let's make that happen, people. Start it now in Box Office Act. Everyone in the Super Chat, donate to me and I will send it to funds to Australia to make this Dundee movie. Damn it, I missed the beginning. Was too busy making chicken rolls. Damn it! Quit making chicken rolls! What's wrong with you? There is such a thing as Oscar bait. Yes, there is. Yes, there very much is. I totally agree with that. God, 2002 was one of the worst Oscar years in my opinion, actually. Polanski won director, and then frickin' Chicago, the terrible Chicago, won Best Picture. One of the single most overrated, awful... It's like watching Sucker Punch now. It's so Zack Snyder. Fucking Rob Marshall, I think, is a terrible director. Terrible filmmaker. Was a choreographer. I would have loved if Bill the Butcher rapped. That would have been amazing. Bill the Butcher rap, like him and Leo are in the streets having like freestyle battles, and everyone gets around Gangs in New York and all the gangs in there. See, that would have made that movie a 10. That alone. But it yeah, that was a rough year where Chicago won everything, and then like Polanski won, and then City of God didn't get nominated for a foreign language film, but it got nominated for Best Director. It was a bizarre Oscars that year. I love Eminem. He is such a breakout artist. Dude, 8 Mile. I was just talking to Blood Money about this. 8 Mile's great. 8 Mile's an awesome movie. And the rap battle scenes, the freestyle scenes are amazing. Curtis Hanson did a great job with that film. Do you find it funny that Gladiator won Best Picture back in the day? Yeah, yes. I think it's ridiculous that it won Best Picture. Yeah, no, that was a good choice when they gave it to Polanski. That was one of the only things about that year I agreed with, was Polanski winning Best Director. I didn't agree with most of the decisions that year, but that was one of them. I think I won Screenplay too. Yeah, no, that was the year Michael Moore came up and gave the speech and he got booed. That's when he won for Bowling for Columbine. He won the Oscar. City of God is really good, yes. Yeah, it's shocking it wasn't nominated for foreign... I can't remember why it wasn't eligible for foreign language film, and yet it was nominated for, like, Best Director and Screenplay and Film Editing, and it didn't get a nomination in foreign language film. Because it would have won. It was very strange. I agree. I think the Oscars do have a bias towards the Lego films. Okay, so let's keep moving up. Paddington 2, 3.1 million, 45% drop, 36 million domestic, 195 million worldwide. Now, this hasn't reached the total of the first Paddington, which made 76 million domestic and 268 million worldwide. But this is still a really nice run, and I could still see this making profit. It has a $50 million budget. And this is, like, honestly, for Hugh Grant, this is one of his best reviewed, this is, honestly, his most acclaimed performance, I would say, since, like, About a Boy. Hugh Grant, he might get a Golden Globe nomination next year for this performance. Anyway, love this movie. It's like a 10 for me. I love this movie. I think it's wonderful. I need to do a review for it on the channel, but I can just say this is a wonderful, wonderful film. I'd say it's a masterpiece. I have no problem saying that. I know it's an overused term, but, to me, this is a perfect execution of what they wanted it to be. It's also maybe the greatest sequel to come out in a few years. But yeah, 195 million worldwide. So even if it's not doing as well as the first one, it's still making a profit, and hopefully we can get Paddington 3. Hopefully that international box office. It hasn't had very good holds. 45% drop isn't very good. Yeah, Steve Martin hosted. That was the Steve Martin year. Yep. Paddington just never caught on stateside. I don't know why. Domestically, here in the States, we don't really, I don't know, never caught on as a franchise. I blame release date and marketing, though, on the Paddington franchise. Shape of Water, 44 million domestic, 64 million worldwide, $20 million budget. This is Guillermo del Toro's first film in forever to make any profit. Because Hellboy 2 dropped really big after its opening. Pacific Rim, I don't think they made much money on at all, because it cost $200 million. And Crimson Peak was basically a bomb. So this is his first film since, like, Pan's Labyrinth to make a decent profit. The best picture frontrunner right now is what I would say, too, is Shape of Water. Alright, Den of Thieves, which did surprisingly well on its opening weekend. Gerard Butler and 50 Cent, $15 million opening weekend. It's at $36 million domestic. 12 Strong, starring Chris Hemsworth, Michael Shannon. It's at $46 million worldwide, $37 million domestic. Not really that great of performances on either one of those movies. Hostiles, $5.5 million, starring Christian Bale, Scott Cooper, the director. What did he make? Yeah, Crazy Heart and Out of the Furnace. That's right. Black Mass, one of the only half-decent Johnny Depp movies to come out in like 10 years. Hostiles. I haven't seen this movie. That's kind of a cool poster, though. Anyway, 21 mil domestic. Don't know the budget of this film, but it seems like it's going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. So, I thought the first Paddington was perfect, and there was nothing I complain about, and the experience was enjoyable through and through. That's the thing, yeah. It's just a perfect, simple movie. It's exactly what it needs to be. Alright, let's talk about The Greatest Showman, or as I like to call it, The Greatest Multiplier. This is an incredible run at the box office. This film had an $8 million opening weekend. This is, I don't know how many weekends it's been out. It's been out for a long time, and it's making $7.8 million. This is the same money its opening weekend. How many weeks has this been out? Wait, it would just say at the beginning. Why am I doing this? It's been a release for 47 days. It's been out for 6.7 weeks. 6 weeks. And 6 weeks in, it's still making the same money it did on its opening weekend. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. This film, really, if anything, it probably should have had a bigger opening weekend. I think this is like Reverse Last Jedi. Like, this movie probably should have had a $30 to $40 million opening weekend, so its total would make more sense. It just had to take a while for it to catch on, because I do think this was a good idea to make this movie, and Hugh Jackman make it, and make a traditional musical like this, and the La La Land guys and everything. But when it didn't open well, I thought, oh, this is a disaster. But sometimes, a movie's a hit, and it takes a little while for people to kind of catch on to it being a hit. The best hits are that way, the surprise ones. So because this had a disappointing opening weekend, this performance is more impressive because that opening weekend was so abysmal. But every weekend following that's been such great holds. No hold. It hasn't had a drop above 18%. It hasn't dropped. That's insane. Look at this. 10 million, 9 million, 7 million. So it's at 137 million domestic and 290 million worldwide with an $84 million budget. Even if it doesn't make too much profit, even though I'm sure it's already made a profit, that is easily one of the most impressive multipliers I've seen in years for a movie. Who scored a touchdown? Was it the Patriots? With The Last Jedi, Jurassic World, The Lost World, I mean Fallen Kingdom, will be nostalgic fatigue for the Jurassic Park franchise. I agree. Although the director of the sequel to Jurassic Park is a really good director. He did the movie The Orphanage, and he did that movie with Ewan McGregor about the tsunami, and I like both of those movies quite a bit. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be a surprise. Maybe it'll be a fun big-budget B movie. Maybe it'll actually be a fun monster movie. I thought The Greatest Showman would bomb, but it's impressive. It's a Hugh Jackman, man. It's also Zac Efron's best performing movie. So for him, it's a big deal because his movies typically don't do very well. And Baywatch was a massive disappointment. So for Zac Efron, it's a big deal. Winchester. What is this, the Winchester brothers from Supernatural? Sammy. Starring Helen Mirren and Jason Clarke. Oh, two actors I love. $9.2 million opening weekend, 22,480 theaters. I have no idea what the hell that movie's about. I don't know. I don't know what the hell that even is. It's a weird one. The Eagles. Oh, Philly scored. Awesome. Cool. What is your best case scenario for the Dundee movie? No backlash is not like Star Wars or Ghostbusters where people will be like, oh my god. I think the best outcome would be that it's a passable, fun comedy, modern comedy, kind of like how Jumanji 2 was a really surprisingly decent rock Kevin Hart vehicle. Like, maybe it's a surprisingly... the first Crocodile Dundee is not great cinema. I like the movie. I think it's a good movie, but it's not like some masterpiece. It's very much a comedy premise of its time, high concept, 80s comedy kind of movie. I don't think there's a need for Crocodile Dundee to come back either. I don't think people really... I think that was because in the 80s, everyone was obsessed with Australian culture, also Japanese culture. So a lot of movies from then, you see that stuff, but I don't think people have that Australian thing anymore. I don't think people really care about the Aussies like they used to. Especially in the 80s, there was this huge fucking fetishism and love for Australian culture. It carried over into the 90s too, but I don't think it's around anymore in my opinion. I think most people don't really care. Anyway, Maze Runner: The Death Cure, last week's featured film, had a pretty steep drop of 57%. $62 million budget. This is $10.2 million this weekend. It's made $39 million domestically, but having said that, it's made $182 million worldwide. So let's look at the other Maze Runner films real quick. The first one made $348 million on a $34 million budget, which is really good. It's a really good total. The second one made $312 million on a $61 million budget, which is still really good. The domestic totals keep dropping. But the international box office is held up, and this one, $62 million budget, made $182 million worldwide. So this could make $250 million worldwide, which is my guess for where it might end up. Also, I want to say, I like the actor Dylan O'Brien. If you guys saw the American Assassin movie, which isn't a great movie, but he's really good in it. I think he would be... I want to know you guys' suggestions. Do you think Dylan O'Brien... he's my choice. I think he would be a good Nightwing Dick Grayson. He's my current choice for that role. Or Tim Drake. I actually think he could play a Robin. If you watch the movie American Assassin, he looks like Robin, and he's really good in the fight scenes and the choreography. And I'm like, this guy could be like, he could be Dick Grayson or something. I could get behind this. The guy who played Robb Stark on Game of Thrones, I would like to see as Dick Grayson, but I don't think that'll happen. This kid though, he'd be a great Tim Drake, like really, really likable. I like the original, but I wouldn't watch it again. I've seen Crocodile Dundee like 100 times. I can't go. When I was a kid. But anyway, $24 million opening weekend, which was less than the other films, but it's still an impressive worldwide performance, and this franchise didn't die like the Insurgent franchise and all that. So it's not the biggest YA series, it's not Hunger Games, but naturally these things just kind of decline. Remember the Hunger Games decline that slowly happened. If you actually go look at the Hunger Games, the first one had that $152 million opening weekend and made $700 million worldwide on that $78 million budget. Oh yeah, Gary Ross, Pleasantville director. Oh crap, hold on, sorry. Boop-a-doo. Ah! Why did I lose my place? Why did I lose my place in this world? Then if you look at Catching Fire, it had a better opening weekend. It made $424 and $865 million worldwide. And this film was very critically acclaimed. Francis Lawrence's best film, in my opinion, as well as Catching Fire. So at this point, this looked like it was going to be the next Harry Potter. But then Mockingjay Part 1 came out and didn't make as much money, kind of like Deathly Hallows Part 1. But But it's still at a beast of a domestic total, 337 million and 755 million worldwide. So it's not like it was a bomb. But then by the time we got to Mockingjay Part 2, the last one, the opening weekend was only 102 million, which was a big drop, and 281 mil domestic, 653 million worldwide. Now, once again, this movie made a lot of money, but it didn't even make as much as the first Hunger Games. So this just seems like a thing with YA outside of Harry Potter, perhaps, that these kind of franchises decline with each new film. I would watch Maze Runner 3, but 2.5 hours of film time is just too precious to waste. Too many terrible Terminator films. Yeah, there's more bad Terminator films than good. I wonder if there had been more hype for the upcoming James Cameron-produced Terminator film if there had not been another... Yeah, of course! If there had not been another Terminator film since T2, a new Terminator film with James Cameron, Linda Hamilton, and them would be one of the most hyped movies in years. It would be like Force Awakens or something. So yes. Before we get to our number one and our movie of the week, which you guys already see, let's read our comment of the week. About 41 minutes in here. This comment is amazing. Alright, this is from Blue Lightning Sky on my Why Luke Doesn't Work video. This is a wonderful comment. Also, what's the point of watching the original trilogy? What's the point of not killing yourself if you're going to die anyway? What are you, 8? Ooh, what a wicked burn. How can you be this big of a baby? Do you know that one of the canon books resurrected the Emperor after Vader killed him? That shit should have made Vader's sacrifice pointless. By your logic, the original trilogy was broken before you were even born. Actually, no, I never said that, but that's fine. You can strawman my opinion. I'm a baby. This is just some incessant baby whining. This guy loves talking about babies. He must fuck babies. The original trilogy is still fine. They're still good movies. This doesn't ruin them, and babies like you need to stop pretending it does. This is just a second generation of prequel babies. Man, it's like the Muppet Babies. We're the Muppet Babies. We're the new prequel babies. We were the original prequel. Now we're the prequel babies. I don't... What is with this thing with babies? He has this obsession with babies. That's why this comment fascinated me. He says baby like 5 times. And I was confused. Am I an 8-year-old or am I a baby? I don't know. I don't know which one it is. Okay, sorry. And I don't remember that I said that it ruined the original trilogy. I was criticizing the film because it's a sequel to the original trilogy, and I was using the original trilogy as an example to criticize it as a sequel and what it does with the characters. I never said that it ruined the original Star Wars trilogy or that they're not still great movies. I agree, they are still great movies. But when you're talking about a sequel, you can bring up the false equivalency of how the EU canon did the resurrection of the Emperor, but the EU isn't real anymore. Disney is disconnected from the EU, so it no longer exists. And that was always like the hardcore fan thing. This is an official movie sequel, okay? This isn't like a deep cut thing you have to go read if you're a Star Wars fan. This is the official movie timeline. So it's a big difference. Also, I guess if you complain about a movie and you're critical, you're a baby. I guess that's the thing. Film criticism is childish. This doesn't ruin them, and babies like you need to stop pretending it does. This is just the second generation of prequel babies who claim that Lucas destroyed their childhood. No matter how bad this or the prequels were, this doesn't magically ruin the original, which I never said it did. That wasn't even the point of the video. But that's fine. Hold on, Pat. We got a smart ass in here. He did get me. He did get me. Calling me a whiny baby. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I agree the splitting of Mockingjay kept that movie from making like 1.2 billion or something. I don't think you have ever mentioned the extended universe books at all in your Luke video. Not well, because I brought up that how Snoke dies and stuff like that. So they're trying to bring up the Emperor. I think he took that my complaints about the movie were me saying that these are things ruin the characters for the original films, but that's not what I was saying. I think they ruin them in a sequel context. They're bad sequels. That doesn't mean I think the original... I've had to accept years ago that you just watch the original trilogy as its own thing. I don't watch them and think about the prequels. I love the premise though. Yeah, if you're critical that you're a whiny baby, that's really funny. It's great. I love the use of the word baby. People leave that comment a lot. You get that a lot. You're just a whiny baby. You're just a little baby. Is baby gonna cry? Baby cry. Let me wipe baby tears away. Wonderful. Wonderful. But also the Luke thing. Perhaps this is misinterpretation. I think a lot of people take the end of that video where I talk about Luke Skywalker not being there, that he doesn't exist anymore, that he's not real. I think they think that as I'm saying that about the original trilogy. But no, what I was saying is that's how it is in The Last Jedi, is the Patrick Bateman reference and the American Psycho thing, is that the current Luke Skywalker is an illusion. He isn't real. That's the whole thing at the end of the video, is the Harmony in Me song is showing the parallels between the new Luke and the old Luke, and that there isn't harmony, that you can't find the harmony between the two. That was the whole basis of the video, was just to criticize The Last Jedi. In order to be critical of it and really break it down, you have to bring up the original trilogy and how these things are affected. If you're viewing them as a continuous story, you have to look at that. That doesn't mean it makes Star Wars a lesser film or Empire Strikes Back, but these are sequels. You have to talk about them in that way. And the video is more about how depressing it is that we have to watch this terrible interpretation and payoff to Luke Skywalker. That's what the video's about, is this excitement to see Luke Skywalker, and you go see this idea of a Luke Skywalker, but it's not Luke Skywalker, and it never will be again. And even though Mark Hamill's tries his best to make you believe maybe it is, it's not. There's a sense in that performance in the movie of a bitterness, and but yeah, that's great. The opening part of this comment's really weird, though. What's the point of not killing yourself if you're going to die anyway? I don't know how he got that out of the video. That is very strange. It's like, what are you, 8? I'm like, what are you, 15, and you just learned the word baby? Or wine? Like, what the hell? Are you 40? It sounds like a 40-year-old person, actually, when I think about it. Oh, shoot. Let me look at that. It's got my ad revenue money up there. My bad. Not supposed to show that. Not supposed to show with that money. Anyway, that is the comment of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That'll be happening from now on. I will be picking out one comment each week that I find really funny and worth reading, and we'll talk about it. Hey, Pat, I really liked the 1995 Ghost in the Shell film, but watching the sequel, Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, felt like Zen. I liked the sequel, too. JJ revealed that it's actually Jake Skywalker, Luke's brother, who's only pretending to be him. I can see your point. When I was a kid, I liked Phantom Menace, but Attack of the Clones bored my kiddie mind. Yeah, Attack of the Clones is the worst Star Wars movie. I'd say Last Jedi is a worse film in a lot of ways, but it's not a worse made film. Attack of the Clones is the worst looking Star Wars film. It's got like the worst dialogue. It's everything about it is like the worst things about it. It feels the most sterile to me about it. It's something almost clinical. Hey, Pat, go look up the new Dwayne Johnson movie, Skyscraper. It was so over the top, I thought it was a parody to all action movies, but it's real. Oh, I know. There's a great poster for that where somebody's drawing the lines to show where he's going to fall from jumping. It's amazing. Somebody sent me a poster with him as the Terminator. It's funny as hell, because if you guys watch the show regularly, I think a couple weeks ago, we had this whole debate. What the heck is this? God, Aiden Paladin's going on a rant on Twitter. Jesus Christ. Holy crap. I'm not reading that. But we had this discussion about Arnold Schwarzenegger's career and Dwayne Johnson and how he was kind of becoming the new Arnold and how successful he was going to be in the future. Then somebody sent me this Dwayne Johnson, the Terminator. That's hilarious. It looks so good, too. It's kind of like, yeah, you know what? I can get behind this. I understand. I can get on this bandwagon. So I don't like sand. It gets everywhere. Holy crap, if you had The Rock in a Die Hard remake, you win. What the hell? I cannot escape Dwayne Johnson. I cannot escape him. It is out? Is it out? I will watch the Solo trailer live at the end of this video. I will watch that live. Too bad something... Okay, guys, don't say anything about it in the comments. Wait till I can watch it live. Don't spoil it for me. You guys can get my live reaction. Alright, so just wait. Oh, Aiden has a wonderfully sexy voice, yes. Bradford Young, he shot Arrival, and God, he shot a movie. He shot Selma. I really like the cinematography, muted colors, lighting. Yeah, Ada does have a sexy voice, but yeah, I don't watch her videos anymore. Although she's doing the Western Front with Naked Ape now. I guess they just kicked crowd out. It was pretty like what a burn. It was such a burn that Naked Ape came back. By the way, thank God Naked Ape's back. Makes me so happy. Oh my God, Tommy Wiseau. Watching the game with Greg Cristastero in London. I think Patriots. Greg hoping Eagles. Who's going to win? Tommy or Greg? I'm just going to click Greg. But that's so funny. Who going to win? I don't know. No Mickey Mouse stuff. I have none of that Mickey Mouse stuff here. No. Let's do it. 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 And 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 do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 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 Just do it. Just do it. That impression wasn't half bad. I'm actually pretty decent at impressions. I don't do them too much, but that's not one of my bad things. Your impression of Wiseau's voice, yeah. Oh, hi, Mark. Well, because a lot of people overdo the Tommy voice. It's actually a lot more subtle in real life than people understand. Like they always do like you're tearing me apart, Lisa, but it's not that. He doesn't. You have to get the little nuances of Tommy, how he talks and stuff. Like, what do you mean, Greg? What are you talking about? Those little, what do you mean? What do you mean? That kind of stuff. He does those the way he says the inflections, the cadence. What do you mean, Greg? I don't understand. Very funny. All right, before we get to the Han Solo trailer, can we finish box office Addict? Can we finish the box office first, people? And then we'll get to it. I was the one that made and sent the Dwayne Johnson term. That's right. Yes, that was you, Dragon Slayer. Thank you. Did you make that? I do drink. Yes, of course I drink. I'm a white guy in his 20s. Come on. Of course. We love alcohol. Wait, good job, man. Thank you for sending that to me. That's why I showed it here. Top 3 Elton John songs. Oh, F you. F you. That's a tough question. How dare you? I'm just going to go rapid fire off the top of my head so I don't overthink it. I'm not going to try to overthink it at all. Candle in the Wind, Harmony, Daniel. Solo movie looks like a fan film. I'm sure it does, dude. I mean, you have to understand, there's no way the Solo wasn't going to look bad. They spent like $150 million to make a movie, and then they reshot the whole movie. And they did it in like a span of a few... There was no way. I don't care how long Ron Howard's been in the business. Nobody could fix that. Nobody. We should recast Schindler's List. Yes, with all Tom Cruise characters. It's only Tom Cruise characters. Like, and it's not Tom Cruise, it's his characters that are in Schindler's List. Guys, no spoiler for the Solo trailer. Oh my. Do you mean Sulu trailer? Or is it Solo? Hey, Boner. What the hell? Jumanji's still #1. It is. Oh, Crocodile Rock. I remember when Crocodile Dundee was young. Me and Paul Hogan had so much fun. He said that wasn't a knife. And then he made that girl his new wife. But then Crocodile Dundee 2 came out. And it just wasn't as worth talking about. And now it's been 30, 40 years. And now we're getting a new Crocodile film, yeah. Danny McBride, he's not that good, but it can be funny sometimes. I didn't want a sequel, and I guess I never will. Tommy Wiseau is the Ray Fiennes part. I love you, Helen. Why won't you love me, Helen? I could take care of you. Holy shoot. They did an entire... Yes, they reshot like 80% of Han Solo. That's not true. They only reshot 98%. Yeah, my bad. Corrections, people. By the way, kudos to me for just doing that improv riff on Crocodile Rock. I had no preparation for that. I just jumped in. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Jumanji, welcome to the jungle! 11 million, 31% drop. 3,352 theaters. One of the single most successful films of 2017, directed by Jake Kasdan of Zero Effect, Freaks and Geeks, and the TV set fame. Starring Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, and Nick Jonas. And Bobby Cannavale, who I'm a huge fan of, although he's the worst part of that movie. This was a surprise for me. It's a shocking film. I gave it like a 6.5. I thought it was surprisingly fun. I thought it was the best Rock-Kevin Hart duo matchup movie. It's a great one. $90 million budget, $36 million opening weekend, $352 million domestic. Amazing multiplier, $855 million worldwide. This is now past Thor Ragnarok. This movie has made more money than Thor Ragnarok and Wonder Woman. It's going to pass Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 worldwide. That film made $863 million. This film costs less than all of those. Those are like $200 million films. And this film's already at $850. A lot of people were saying the top off would be $850. It's at $855 and it's not done. This could make $900 million worldwide. I preferred Ron Howard in American Graffiti, which is just his character. Regular Pat devolved into singing Pat. Yeah, I do go into that. I am singing now. Crocodile Rock song reminded me of the Romeo and Juliet movie that is getting a sequel called Sherlock. Oh, because Elton John, he did a voice in that, and they used his songs. Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, this is a great performance. I mean, really, yeah. If you look at it, let's look at the biggest films of the year. This has to be like number 8 now or something. Yes, it's number 8. Yes, it passed Wonder Woman, which is 10, and Thor Ragnarok. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and it's about to pass Guardians 2. There'll be these 3 superhero comic book films, 3 of them here, that made over $800 million. They all were passed by Jumanji. It could even pass Spider-Man Homecoming, or get right there. And domestically, it's performed better than Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok. It's only not matched Wonder Woman and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's crazy. You could maybe argue this is The Rock's greatest career moment, even more than the Fast and the Furious franchise or anything like that. Like him being in this, an IP from the 90s coming back, and him and Kevin Hart are the leads, and it's doing superhero movie numbers, it's doing Marvel numbers. It's going to be one of the most profitable films of the year. I expect several sequels, like 3 to 4 sequels. This is a new franchise. But will it pass Justice League? Yeah, it already way past Justice League. Way past. Alright, let's go down and see if I missed a few things before we go watch that Han Solo trailer. Daddy's Home 2 is about where it was before. Yeah, nothing stand out to talk about that I can see here. Alright, I guess not. Alright, guys, I guess it's time for us to go watch that Han Solo trailer. After that, let's see where we're at length here. We'll wrap it up here soon. We'll talk about this Polanski casting in the Quentin Tarantino Manson film, and the controversy of that. And maybe we'll discuss a little bit about the Uma Thurman piece that came out in the New York Times. Alright. Solo. Do you remember that great line in in Zoolander where it's Hansel, and he says to, Ben Stiller says to him, Han Solo. That's amazing. I can derelict my own balls, thank you very much. Hey, Pat, do you think Disney's A Wrinkle in Time movie with Oprah will be a massive mega bomb? I don't know. I think it'll do okay. I don't think it'll bomb, but I think it'll do okay. Where's the trailer? Is this the trailer? Is this what you guys are talking about? This TV spot? Oh, is it just on the Super Bowl? Oh, okay. Understand, yes. Okay. Here is my live reaction to this trailer. Ah!
So you want to make a difference?
Yeah.
Trust me, you're gonna love it.
Okay, right away, Bradford Young's style of cinematography, which I thought he was a very odd choice for Lord Miller, that the way Arrival looks, I don't think that was a good choice for Star Wars. This looks very weird to me. This looks like and I think he's a great DP. I think it worked for Arrival, but he has this style with this lighting, and this is very weird. This muted color look. Like Rogue One looked pretty good and kind of went for that a little bit, but this is strange looking to me. It reminds me of how Willow looks and Princess Bride, where like they're technically well-made movies, but like there's almost like this, you can see that it's a movie because of the way the lighting is or something. It's very weird. I wish Cara D would be in better movies. Kind of think she's a cutie. Yeah, of course, definitely. Harambe, get out of here. Harambe, get out. Hey, get out of here, dude. Get the hell out. I'm watching the Han Solo trailer.
So you want to make a difference?
Yeah.
Trust
So you want to make a difference? Yeah.
me, you're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. That's God, Bradford Young's photography is so strange here. Although maybe who knows what Lord and Miller were doing before he came in. Because I think that they're actually pretty good at framing, although they do a lot of like quick cutting. That's not a bad shot though, the special effects of it.
Which branch are you interested in joining?
Remember, everyone said Lawrence Kasdan's screenplay is the best Star Wars script ever written, but I don't believe that at all.
I'm gonna be a pilot.
His originals, because if it was the best Star Wars script ever written, then why the hell did Lord Miller not follow it? I'm thinking it wasn't a great script, and they knew.
Best in the galaxy.
God, this looks like a fan film. It looks like how Serenity looked when Joss Whedon made Serenity, and it looked like a big budget TV movie. It didn't look like a movie. You know, because, like, I mean, Firefly, like, yeah, because he only had, like, a $40 million budget. This film looks like it has, like, a $50 million budget. Oh, hey! Daenerys Stormborn. Yeah, she looks really pretty there. I haven't thought she's looked that great in the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones, but she kind of has, like, this Sean Young quality there. She looks really nice. Okay, I don't totally dislike that moment. That looks kind of cool. I could get in that robot design. I like it's a new robot. I haven't seen that before. Some of the CGI, I gotta say, looks really good. That's like good CGI right there. That's sorry, that's very good CG. I'm assuming that's CG. It might be a model actually, but it looks CG. Hey, Woody! Woody Harrelson. What the hell? What is this? The Fifth Element? We're watching The Fifth Element here. What is this? Goldfinger? The hell? Oh, Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino, yo. There we go.
Your name?
Of course, he's not speaking. Yes. Alden Altreich. Oh my god. That last part's awful. Oh my god, the ending's so bad. That fight actually looks kind of cool. I think that I know all of you hate this trailer, but I'm trying to be fair. I think some of this stuff looks a little cool. Some of the action. This all looks terrible.
Your name?
It's just the Jyn Russo stuff in Rogue One. What the fuck? This is like... What, is Lando a fucking king in this movie? What, is he royalty? Is he standing there like he's a fucking celebrity? What is this? What the hell was Lando doing? Look at the Falcon go!
Your name?
I can't act. You know, thinking about this, you know who could have been a better Han Solo if they were going to go this route? They should have cast the guy who plays Steve Harrington on Stranger Things. Like, really? If they wanted to go that route with it. If they wanted to cast an actor like that, then yeah, when you guys all think he would be better, Steve Harrington, him as young Han Solo. I don't want a young Han Solo movie, but apparently the Alden Altreich guy's been having trouble acting, but the Steve Harrington guy, he could play Han Solo. Especially after Stranger Things Season 2. If you gave him the hair and everything, you did his hair like Harrison Ford, and you're like, you're just Han Solo. I'd watch it. The gold woman looks like crap. No, you're right, it does look like a Blade Runner movie. That's one thing, Bradford Young was a weird choice. I felt that when Lord and Miller hired him, because you think about how their movies look, like 21 Jump Street, and you think about how, like, Lego Movie looks, and then you think, like, they hired the guy, because his style in Selma and Arrival is very distinct, and it's a very weird style to bring to a Star Wars movie. The way it looks visually. Oh, I like Rogue One the best out of the new films as well. Yes. I mean, I don't hate all. It's not like this is a bad shot or like badly lit or framed or anything. Like this isn't a bad shot, but it is odd. Like I don't know. It doesn't look like a Ron Howard movie. I thought this would look more like a Ron Howard movie. I mean, I guess it kind of looks somewhat kind of like some of his recent films, but I was expecting like a very traditional Ron Howard look to it. It doesn't. This doesn't look Ron Howard. I mean, I guess Willow. It has a bit of that Willow look, but I do like little things about it, like that shot. There does seem to be some creativity here, with some of these little elements in here. And, all the dialogue wasn't good, and that's the cheesiest. But yeah, that stuff does. Yeah, I think this stuff looks kind of cool. That looks cool. I don't like how this looks. Not a fan of this. I think this looks kind of fun. Kind of reminds me of the train fight in the first Captain America movie. Kind of looks like a Joe Johnston sort of thing there. This is actually a pretty cool little moment. But yeah, it's a trailer that doesn't leave an impression. It feels very slapped together. Like they didn't have much to do, and they just said we got to get a trailer out so we can do some damage. I mean, this trailer has very little effort in it. That last part with Chewie is such like a little lazy. It's not like the Chewie We're Home Force Awakens show. This is like just such a. It feels like a YouTube video when it happens. That feels like a YouTube video, or something. It's very strange. Why not just Steve Harrington get sucked into the Star Wars universe? Yes. If you pay attention, Alden living the plot of the character in Hell Caesar casted four looks and can act. I thought he was good in that movie, in Hell Caesar, but that doesn't mean he's a Hollywood actor, charisma. It's a certain type of performance that you have to do to play movies like this. Like, you can be a great actor in a lot of technical ways or be good in certain types of performances, but you could be terrible at, like, a blockbuster type performance where you got to rely on the charisma. But I don't think I think he can act okay in Hell Caesar. I think he's okay in that movie. But I still don't get why they cast him as Han Solo. It's kind of confusing of all the people. Gotta like that Opie Taylor direction. Yep. If these are the best moments, this movie is doomed. Yeah, no, couldn't they put in like a funny joke in here or something? Is Bradford Young the best black TP since Ernest Dickerson? Yes. Yes, he is. I would say so. His style is actually kind of like Ernest Dickerson, depending on what Ernest Dickerson film it is, because there is that muted look to some of his work. But I do think he could shoot something like Do the Right Thing. Just the saturation of color and all that. Man, the Eagles scored another touchdown. Awesome. He's living the plot, though. Yeah. He was also in that film that Francis Ford Coppola made. He was the younger brother. I can't remember the name of that movie. Vincent Gallo was in it. Anyway, let's talk about this Polanski-Tarantino thing. So, Tarantino's film, which is going to be it's about an actor, a struggling actor. In the backdrop is the Sharon Tate Manson murders, where Sharon Tate was killed and her baby, when Roman Polanski was not there. A lot of people, Tarantino was saying the movie wasn't going to focus on that. It was more about an actor in L.A., and it was kind of a Pulp Fiction sort of movie where it's multiple stories of these characters over a couple days in Los Angeles. And they were talking about Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate, which is a phenomenal choice. But there's a lot of controversy because apparently, it's going to have a bigger role than was originally stated, the Tate murders, and Roman Polanski will be in the film. And he says he wants to cast a Polish thespian to play the part. Now, they say Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are both up for the same role. Leonardo DiCaprio is cast as Sharon Tate's neighbor. I thought Leo was cast as Manson, and I think Leonardo DiCaprio would have been a great Charles Manson. Especially when you think about his performance in Django. Yeah, man, black guys all shoot the same to me, man. I can't tell any difference. The muted look is pervading a lot of the indie film world. Movies like Lion, can't think of anything. Right? Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's strange when you do that kind of lighting for a blockbuster, like a $200 million film. I think it's a very bizarre way to make a movie look. Anyway, though, Roman Polanski is set to appear as a character in what will be described as a key role in the film, a controversial decision considering the French-Polish director's troubling past. It's funny how we come back to Polanski here. But yes, for the role of Polanski, who was married to Tate at the time of her murder at their home in 1969, Tarantino is said to be looking for an authentic Polish thespian to play the role. So people on Twitter got really outraged about this. This Virgil J. Budsworth III. You're probably right. Painting Polanski as anything other than what he is, monster, feels like the dumbest move that anyone could make. But I honestly don't know if Tarantino will be smart enough to avoid it. Yeah, Virgil. Yeah, he's a real idiot. Why don't you go walk someone through hell and quit going on Twitter and trying to virtue signal about Polanski? You do know that if he's making a movie that involves those murders, it only makes logical sense. Oh, crap. The Sallow picture in there. I didn't see that. Holy crap. Roman Polanski is going to be portrayed in the Quentin Tarantino Charles Manson movie. I like how they'll keep calling it a Charles Manson movie. I don't think it's a Charles Manson movie. I think Charles Manson's just a character in it. I think it's more about this other guy and disenfranchisement with L.A. I understand he's a significant part of the actual story of the murders, but I don't know. Seems like a slippery slope, especially for a pseudo-historical film and with all that's going on in Hollywood. You think Tarantino cares about historical accuracy? Did you see Django Unchained and Inglourious Basterds? He doesn't give a damn. I mean, look at it this way. In a post-Weinstein world, any mention or betrayal of Polanski is going to set off alarms, certainly. But I trust Tarantino, since, yeah, he was an important part of the Manson murders. I just hope it's done in a fair way. What does that mean? What would be fair? What's a fair way? The goods and the bads? I don't know. I'm actually surprised Polanski is an on-screen character. It's a Tarantino film set against the backdrop of the Tate murder. Look, it should be no surprise Roman Polanski was going to play a part in Tarantino's 1965 nil because it features Sharon Tate's death. It's all about how Quentin Tarantino portrayed. Did anyone have an original thought when they went to go tweet about this damn movie? I also don't think focusing in Polanski is the right way to go about this. If it has to be done, the whole thing leaves a bad taste in my mouth, honestly. Well, I'm sure all the semen you swallow leaves a bad taste in your mouth as well. But you don't hear me complaining about it. This film will be released by Sony after Tarantino pulled the project away from the longtime collaborators, the Weinstein Company. Tarantino, as of yet, his untitled film will arrive in cinemas August 9th. 2019, the 50th anniversary. Isn't that wonderful? We're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary by watching a recreation of the murder. See the faces of these two girls from Sallow, Pasolini's kind of overrated movie, but you should still watch it. This is the face I'm going to make in the theater during Tarantino's film. This is going to be my enjoyment celebrating the 50th anniversary. Because that's the thing, man. I'm going to spit in her face, man. Because now we know he tried to kill Uma Thurman. He was going to murder her. He death-proofed her. And then he spit in her face. It's amazing. He's a choking, spitting, murdering, conniving bastard. And I love it, man. You got to do it, man. You got to kill people, man. So yeah, Polanski's going to be in Tarantino's film. Here's what upsets me. Tom Cruise would be a great Polanski. Come on, Tarantino. Who cares about accuracy? Tom Cruise could pull off being Polish. I don't give a damn. Oh my goodness. I don't give a goddamn about what you think. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Boom! Hit him with the Dante reference. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Wait, if he's Dante, did that make Randall Virgil? Wow, Clerks has a whole subtext I didn't even view before. There needs to be 2 cameos of Ezra Miller as Bob Dylan and Daniel Radcliffe as John Lennon. Didn't really like those 2 Tarantino films. Hateful Eight is great, though. I would not say to trust Sony, but based on recent events, they are killing. Yeah, the Jumanji thing really saved Sony. Big time. As the semen you swallow. I remember when I was young, that semen used to taste so good. I was always swallowing cum behind the dumpster at the 7-Eleven, but the biggest load I ever got was from a guy that called himself Croc. He gave me his best shot, and then I was never the same. God, you can just do anything with that song. That is such bullshit. I'm glad that you thought it was dumb too. It's bullshit. I did not. Jurassic World 2 looks utterly stupid and bloated. Did you see Jurassic World 1? That's what it was too! That's all it is! The Uma Thurman thing. No, the Uma Thurman thing's hilarious. Like, New York Times tries to imply that he tried to kill Uma Thurman or something. I'm going to put you in this car, and you're going to drive it to 40, and you're going to get your hair right. And if you don't get your hair right, man, I'm going to make you do it again, Uma. Get your damn sexy feet on that wheel. In that damn gas pedal. Pat is on fire today. Something good happened. No. No, it did not. It did not. It did not. Nothing good ever happens. Life's just a depressing series of events that you try to make good in your memory of it, but when really it was happening, you may thought it was good, but in actual truth, it was awful. Everything is meaningless. Don't you remember that comment we got from earlier? I mean, why choose to live if you could just kill yourself? He's right. Guys, let's all put on new hope, and when it gets to the end where they get the medals, everyone collectively, let's commit suicide. Get the Kool-Aid, people. It's time. We need to do a mass death to show Disney we mean business. If all of us die today together, Disney will then make sure Episode 9 is a great movie. We'll solidify it. I thought I was the only one who hates Jurassic World. No, Bathory. There's other people in the world that have taste. Don't worry about that. You're not the only one. Can't be arsed with those films.
Let the hate flow through you. It will make you stronger, Pat. It's what you need.
I'm afraid when your friends get here, they'll find that your sub count's still dropping. No! Chris Stuxman still has more subscribers than you. No! Chris Stuxman's electrocuting me with his mediocrity of 5-minute webcam of cam reviews. Ah! Ah! Chris Stuxman, no! Father, help me! He's taking away my creativity and originality. I can't make observations that are just the Rotten Tomatoes consensus. He's draining me of my power. No! Help me! No, Chris Stuxman, no!
You'll die, Pat. No, you must die, Pat Ryaki.
No, let me do it.
You must die, Pat Ryaki.
Jesus, man, chill. The Kool-Aid people. As a black guy, I got you. I got you, dog. Yeah, I'm going to do what Tarantino does, and whenever I talk to black people, I'm going to be a really black, racist stereotype. Hey, man, so, like, there's that Sicilian thing in True Romance, man, and it's awesome. Because this guy told me the story about that, you know? It's so cool. And this scene's too good, man. Can we talk about the anti-Black Panther Facebook campaign that was going to happen? No, because it's pointless. It wasn't going to go anywhere. Your subscribers drag you to the dark side. They keep pulling you over there and trying to put you on the dark side. Well, yeah, I know. They're trying to make me black. I will not be forced to be the race I'm not. I identify as a white man, thank you very much. You think Disney will one day be desperate enough to make a movie about what happens between Force Awakens and Last Jedi? No. Evolution of the Porgs. A Star Wars story. Actually, now there's an idea for a movie. I want Ewoks, a Star Wars story. Am I the only one? I already pitched George Miller's Pod Racer movie. Okay? That scene's too good, man. Yeah. I already pitched his Pod Racer movie. I want the Ewok movie. Not the Great Ewok Adventure. I want the new $100 million Ewok movie. Directed by Paul King, who made Paddington. I want mocap Ewoks. I want great mocap Ewoks going through and having a civil war with other Ewoks. It's the Lord of the Flies with Ewoks. They're all on Endor together, and they have to slowly kill each other off. It gets insane. And then at the end, one Ewok is getting chased by all the other Ewoks through the woods. And he's like... And he gets to the end part. And it would be amazing. Trans racism. Did you know that back in the day, Wesley Snipes... I said red black in the day. Do you know Black in the Day? Back in the day, Wesley Snipes was going to star in a Black Panther movie. Yes. Yes, I did. Wesley Snipes is awesome. How Ewoks became poor. I remember that's how the Ewoks talked. Like when the one dies, it's like... And the other one's like... The Wicket's like... I sound like a cousin, cousin Thing from the Addams Family. Oh, I love... Oh, wait, no, Thing's the hand. Cousin It. Yeah, it sounds like... Oh, hello, Cousin It. So basically, Minion Star Wars Edition, Ewoks. Yes. Yes. It would be a silent film. A silent film. Beautiful. It would be Lord of the Flies with teddy bears. Come on, you guys don't want to see Ewoks kill each other? You don't want to see Ewoks getting savage and stabbing each other to death? Come on, I know you all want that. Don't you fucking lie to me. Fucking lie to me, huh? I'm going to make you drive this car at 40 miles an hour. And if your hair doesn't blow right, I'm going to make you guys do it again. I will. C-3PO, A Star Wars Story. R2-D2, A Star Wars Story. Ewoks versus Minions versus Gremlins. Ultra Wars. Dude, that sounds like the best monster crossover ever. Addams Family 2 is awesome. The summer camp scenes are wonderful in that movie. Very wonderful. And so is Joan Cusack. Although, when isn't Joan Cusack wonderful? In my mind, she's just a national treasure. You know. We just have to go there. Man, mocap Ewoks. Andy Serkis plays every Ewok. And he does different performances for each one. For one Ewok, he goes... And then another Ewok, he goes... Very nuanced there. Pat, put down the Coke! Oh shit, it was heroin. Fuck, this is the Pulp Fiction scene. Oh no. Oh no. 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 Oh no, no, no. No, 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 no. You misunderstood. Leia, A Star Wars Story. Sulu, a Star Trek story. The oh my of the 2000s. I hope when Reylo and Kylo Ren fight in the laugh battle, they just get killed by Ewoks. I want Die Hard, but Bruce Willis is an Ewok. Yes! Yes, people, you're getting it now. People don't understand. Ewoks don't make things worse, they make things better. The Godfather with Ewoks? The Walkfather? Are you kidding me? Is it true, Wicket? No. And then they like close the doors on Ewok, Diane Keaton. She's looking through the thing. Wonderful. By the way, Dog Day Afternoon, great movie. No, that's a random one. But movies don't get much better than that film. It's gritty, it's nuanced, it's a character study, it's funny. It's got social commentary. It's everything a movie should be. Cowboy Bebop movie. I'd prefer that over a solo movie. Dude, I would love a Cowboy Bebop movie. Let's get the things together. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yoda, A Star Wars Story.
Yoda, A Star Wars Story.
Dirty Harry with Ewoks. Roots with Ewoks. Yes, Roots with Ewoks. Your name is Wicket. Your master, your name is Wicket. Your master gave you a good name. Don't you like the name your master gave you? Powerful. Powerful. Yeah. Attica. Can Ewok save Game of Thrones Season 8? Yes. Yes, they can. And they will. Kirk, A Star Wars Story. Oh my, Bones. We are in a new franchise, Star Wars. And it's just as good. Scotty, beam me up. I need to celebrate this. What do you think would be a great choice to direct a Cowboy Bebop movie? I think that Adam Driver should play Spike Spiegel. In the current form, because he looks enough like Keanu Reeves, because Keanu would have played that role if he was younger. Who should I think? It's somebody who can get neo-noir and Western stuff down. Ooh, James Mangold, who directed Logan and 3:10 to Yuma. I think he should make the Cowboy Bebop movie. I think he'd be a wonderful choice. Yeah, Ewok Bonix. Yeah, you guys don't know, like, I actually have a degree in Ewok. It's actually, it's what I studied in college. It's one of the toughest languages to learn is Ewok. So I'm not bragging or anything, you know. I'm not trying to brag about my 258 IQ and that I speak every language in science fiction movies and fantasy films. You know, that's not impressive or anything like that. All right, God, is there anything left? Let's see, how long have we been going? Ugh! You betray me. You betray me. Don't betray me, Lisa. You betray me. Alright, oh, scroll up. All right, I'm going to watch some of this football here. I'm going to watch this. Look, wait, we're watching live football. Jeez, the NFL's going to claim this video. Disney's going to claim this video. Man, is it just me? Do the Philly players just look way more massive than the Patriots players? Like, it looks like the guys playing for Philly look like twice the size of the Patriots players. I mean, I guess outside of, like, Gronk. I want Daddy Patch to teach me Ewoks. Hey, Bathory, do you know that time when my footprints weren't there with you? With the little Ewok footprints? That's because I was carrying you. That's what it was. So don't worry. Okay, hold on. I don't want to... Damn, I'm not trying to... I'm just live streaming the Super Bowl. Hey, watch my channel if you want to watch the Super Bowl. Here it is live. We'll just live stream the Super Bowl here. 15-6. Alright, so it's a close game still. Okay. Just wanted to be updated. Sorry, people. Just all of a sudden this live stream blows up. There's like thousands of people in it. The Bride versus the Crazy 88 Ewoks. That would legitimately make that a better movie. That would just be... It would be so brilliant. Snow White and the Seven Ewoks. I'm not very happy with the blacks now. What? What the hell? Live stream Inception. Oh yeah, it is Inception. It's true. Oh wait, no, Inception would be more blah. For a Cowboy Bebop movie, would the CGI the corgi or use a real corgi? Use a real corgi. Why the hell would you see CGI Einie? No, thank you. No, thank you at all. All right, people. I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. We're coming up on like 90 minutes. That's usually how long I want the show to be, and I go way too long, 2 hours. Credit Bathory for calling me out at the beginning and reminding me that I should actually end one on time for once and not be... even though the running gag of this whole show is I always go several hours longer than what I intend, always like 2 or 3 over, I'm going to end this one on time. I believe you, red guy. I don't like red guys. Get the hell out of here, you red-skinned freak. Alright, guys, any last questions before I leave? And I'm going to try and avoid the tangents with that. So if you guys have any final questions, I'll answer one more question. And that'll be the last thing before we end this episode. Watch 6 episodes of Altered Carbon on Netflix. You would like it. I Black. That sounds like a good movie title. I Black. Alright, guys, one more question. I'm going to end the show. I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but the Super Bowl's on. I want to go watch it. I want to go eat dinner. I'm sorry I did this late today. By the way, I apologize. I shouldn't have did this at 6 today. I should have done this episode at like 4. I was up till like 9 o'clock in the morning talking, so I didn't get to...
Hey, man, quit making fun of me, man. Hey, well, you guys always picking on me, man.
I love Meatwad.
Come on, man.
Give us daily videos. I don't have time for daily videos. I would love to give you guys daily videos. I really would. Like, I totally want... Oh, now the score's like tied, isn't it? I would love to give you guys... Honestly, I tried to record 3 videos this week and they all went horrible. Best Cusack. Favorite, High Fidelity. Best? I think the argument can be made, for me, that possibly the best movie he was ever in, overall, could possibly be either The Grifters or Bullets Over Broadway. Those could be the ultimate Cusack movies because they're not... They keep the essence of Cusack, but they're more the directors achieving something with those films, and Cusack just being part of it. And I think that makes it even more special. So Netflix are apparently releasing the new Cloverfield movie tonight. That's awesome. That's an awesome idea. Every QS character fights to the death. Who wins? Grosse Point Blank. The Hitman. That would definitely be, That guy can, like, kill anyone. Pat, you ass ain't leaving. Stay and feed our addictions, dog. I'm sorry. Alright, guys, I answered my last question. Bathory, thank you for keeping me on track with the tune. Try to remind me of that every week so I don't go 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Hey, guys, you've been getting spoiled. The last few episodes have been 3 hours. We can have a short one. Go enjoy the Super Bowl. Go sit with your families and enjoy it. Go live your life. Would you recommend David Lynch hotel room? Yes, I would. Who wouldn't want to go to a David Lynch hotel room? It's like the best thing ever. It's $40 million sci-fi movie set on a space station. Awesome. Hope it's good. I like 10 Cloverfield Lane a lot. A lot. It was actually like in my top 5 the year it came out. It would have been in my top 3 if it wasn't for the last 15 minutes. Everything before the last like 10-15 minutes is great. It's like Hitchcock. I love that movie. Alright, people. This is Box Office Addict. If you're here, you're probably an addict yourself, and I'm not here to help you with your addictions. I'm here to encourage them. That's just what I do. Thank you for watching the Weekend Box Stuff with me. Thank you for being subscribed. Anyone who gave Super Chat money, likes, comments, and all that. Spread the word. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Was this episode 29? I believe so. Alright, guys. Next week is the 30th episode, and that will be the special. Next week is the top 10 best box office performances of 2017. No, I would not recommend The Last Jedi. Next week, episode 30. 30 weeks of Box Office Addict. We've made it, people. Next week is going to be a special. I'm not going to be doing the traditional thing where I go through all the movies. I'm going to look at what I think were the 10 best box office runs of 2017. And we're also going to go back to the past and look at the first episode of Box Office Addict. So we're going to go down memory lane. So make sure to get ready for next Sunday. It'll happen sometime 4 to 6 Eastern. But yeah, next week, guys, the 30th episode and 30th, we're doing like just a big special. I'm gonna go through every movie and talk about, like, in Last Jedi is gonna be included in there, Jumanji 2, The Greatest Showman, and talk about the profits of them and what I think was the most impressive. And we're gonna go back to the origins of Box Office Addict and see how we got to where we're at now. So that's a really good time. Does he look like a bitch? Then why are you trying to fuck him like a bitch? Well, people, don't get fucked like a bitch. That's my advice to you. I'll see you mofos later. Stay sexy. Wait, let me think. We did the Cowboy Bebop thing. Hold on, I can make this work. Okay, yeah, let me get Sharkfoot's music up here. Yeah, we can do the Cowboy Bebop thing. All right. Here we go. Wait, oh, by the way, you guys should subscribe to Sharkfoot and his channel. He does all the music for my videos, and he's wonderful. This is the opening to my videos and all this. He's a friend of mine. Great music. Anyway, let's see what kind of line. What line should I use? See you later, Space Cowboy. That's a good one. I don't know. All right, I got it, you guys. Bang, bang. Oh, he just says it once though. Okay, let me do that again. All right, Spike Spiegel. Last scene of Cowboy Bebop. Bang. Okay, there we go. Bye. The dream is always the same. Wait. What year is it?